mnichenda koma hai apanga zoipa apanga ndalama safa ni matenda inosema mfuma samuona chende ali bwana hama sa mnichenda koma hai apanga zoipa apanga ndalama chini ya bwana hama sa mnichenda koma hai apanga zoipa apanga ndalama safa ni matenda inosema mfuma samuona chini ya bwana hama sa mnichenda koma hai apanga zoipa apanga ndalama safa ni matenda. Make senora, but do my thing. Only problem, too many girls. One of them will be the end of his world. Give it up in exchange for the pearls. Strapped up, could've crashed on the curb.
You're the king of the castle, but it's a bit of a struggle, especially if the castle's in the form of a bottle. Broken bottles, cuts are deep. Eskele kumnyama ngathi skip. Umithi sompana wathi skip. Phume etshwaleni, you're losing your grip.
It's sweet, but it could turn bitter. More than passion, just think, consider. And while you're at it, your dreams are bigger. More than passion to a lifetime of pain. In that moment, what do you gain? Mamona bagazi ni musha kuvala. Wajavola utwala mumala. Tawi zafika kufuna kubala.
We know.
Turusa, and Maria, Turus, and Monica, Bruce, and Jessica, to the rich and the poor. Gagetami Patanawa, Tamkachamendorama. So let's teach our kids about the bodies and rights.
Welcome to the third final show.
Forget about the past life, cause the future is bright. Forget about the past life, cause the future is bright. Bright, cause the future is bright. Hey, I know my rights, and I'm gonna do what's right. I'm gonna change my life.
The continent in the comment section below. Or you can tweet at UNFPA _ SYP and at UNFPA _ Esaro. Our official hashtags are hashtag youth and COVID-19 and hashtag put young people first. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about comprehensive sexuality education. And the reason is, right here in the Kingdom of Eswatini, in the East and Southern Africa region, and of course, the whole of Africa, countries are now realizing the importance of giving, one, the right information to young people, two, the right information at the right time in the right way. A little strategy that we call putting the medicine in the ice cream. So it gives me a great pleasure to introduce our sexpert in this area, who actually also trained me in the content that I usually throw in some of my songs and some of that spoken word poetry. Because when a brother come through, he better come through correct. Now me. So, is that what we're doing right now, Daniel Toro? Is that what we're doing? Okay. We want to restart this whole thing so that you guys get it as best as you possibly can. So Daniel Toro, take it back to the music and let's restart.
Jene kuli yapuzile musamukakamiza jene kuti yakwatile kompakisa jene zomwe sakufuna akazafuna kukwatila asasowa mamuna ino simufuna samuona jene yali bwana amasa kulichenda.
Here we go again. It's another beautiful day right here under the African sun, and young people are still asking for a chance to crawl, to walk, to run, and to fly. And the UNFPA is on a mission to create a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person's potential is fulfilled. Sanibonani, Dumelang, Muzuri Sana, Magadijo, Mulibwanje, Mulibwanje. Hello, young Africa. From Cape to Cairo, from Dakar to Mogadishu, welcome to the Safeguard Young People Edutainment Party. Thank you once again for tuning in, because we know you could have been anywhere else in the World Wide Web, but you're here with us and we appreciate you so very much. My name is Tamsanga Sibanze, aka the Courtesy of Hip Hop, aka the Black Superman. Welcome to the third and final show of this platform that has been set up for us to have conversations around sexual and reproductive health issues during COVID-19. So we invite you to join in on this discussion where we will be talking about comprehensive sexuality education. Please make your voice heard by asking questions, making comments, and telling stories of what's going on in your part of the region or the continent in the comment section below. Or you can tweet at UNFPA_Isaro or UNFPA_SYP. The official hashtags are hashtag youth and COVID-19 and hashtag put young people first. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, today we are talking about comprehensive sexuality education. And the reason is, right here in the Kingdom of Eswatini, in the Eastern Southern Africa region, and of course, the whole of Africa, countries are now realizing the importance of 1, giving the right information to young people, 2, at the right time, 3, in the right way. A little strategy that we call putting the medicine in the ice cream. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, that is why it gives me a great pleasure to introduce our sexpert in this area, who actually also trained me in the content that I usually throw in on some of my songs and some of that spoken word poetry, because y'all know when a brother come through, a brother gotta come through correct. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I call her Brooklyn, but she is also known as Maria Bakarudis, Comprehensive Sexuality Education Specialist from the Safeguard Young People program by UNFPA East and Southern Africa. She has over 27 years, that's right, 27 years of experience in comprehensive sexuality education across 5 continents. And we will be talking about the myths and facts around CSE. We're going to play a little game around true or false. So I'm going to throw some statements at her. I'm going to throw in some comments, and Maria will come in and let us know whether it is true or false. So listeners out there, do not feel shy. Please feel free to take advantage of this opportunity to ask Maria all of those burning questions that you have about sexuality, but in particular sexuality education in your part of the world. The chat is open. Put your comments on the chat below. Questions, comments, queries. But for now, Brooklyn, please come in. Maria, welcome to the party. How do you do? What's going on with you?
Hi, Courtesy and everybody out there. It is such a pleasure to be here. I really look forward to breaking it down about CSE, the short for Comprehensive Sexuality Education. We know that during this hectic pandemic that we've all lived through these days, schools have been closed. Young people haven't gotten the information like they normally would. We also know that some young people are going for services out there because of coronavirus. But we also know something else is true. Sex doesn't stop for pandemics. Menstruation, HIV tests, pregnancy, etc., these all carry on, and so do we. So that's what these e-parties have been all about, trying to bring information and have a conversation in whichever way necessary. You know, CSE is full of myths and misinformation out there, a whole lot of fake news, and I really hope we get to break some of that down, because as you said, we need to keep it real up in here. Okay, so if I just wanted to quick, without getting too technical, talk about what CSE actually is. it's a structured package of information, right? It's a curriculum-based package that talks about sexuality and lots of other parts of it, right? What's important is it looks towards gender transformative, rights-based, scientifically accurate, because we got to keep it factual, and really based on the person's age and developmental stage. So, you know, there's a whole lot of other technicalities to it that I won't get into, but we do deliver CSE in and out of schools, okay? I'm ready to go with those myths now. I'm ready.
All right, great stuff. I am so excited to be sitting, you know, across the screen from you once again, because I know whenever I hang around you, I am about to learn something great, learning straight from the master. So to the viewers at home on the other side of the screen, please feel free to participate in this true or false game that I'm about to play with Maria as well. Whatever statement that I read out, please on the comment section, you also let us know whether you think it's true or false and give us your reasons why. Maria, are you ready? All right, let's get it, Brooklyn. First statement, talking about sex and sexuality is going to encourage young people to go out and have sex. So to the viewers at home, also, your comment, do you think this is true or false? Talking about sex and sexuality is going to encourage young people to go out and have sex. Brooklyn, what's your take?
Thanks, Courtesy. In fact, that's such a common thought, and it is false. People do think if the minute you talk about sex, young people are going to run out and do it. But in fact, the opposite is true. When young people get information, it influences their decision making, and they can plan and they can do it under the right conditions when it makes sense to them and their value. So what we find is that CSE actually delays the age in which young people have sex for the first time and increases the likelihood that they will use a condom or other forms of contraception. So it's protecting against unprotected sex. Next.
Oh, brilliant. I love that so much. Just a quick one, Maria, let me just take something from the comment section. Derek Nyasulu says, false, because knowledge is power. So when young people have access to right information, we're able to make well-informed choices about our future. Young Africa, let's be woke. Love that, brother. And then Tanya Belcher says, false, knowledge is power. I'm the youth with the truth. She's even, you know, rhyming there. I'm the youth with the truth. Now, I mean, thank you guys very much. All right, let's move on to the second statement. Maria, comprehensive sexuality education takes an abstinence only until marriage approach. To the viewers at home, the question is, or the statement is, comprehensive sexuality education takes an abstinence only until marriage approach. Maria, what's your take on that?
That statement is also false. When you have a group of young people sitting in front of you, you have to remember they are diverse. Some have already had sex, yes. Some have not. Some are thinking about it. Some are, you know, were even forced to do it. So in CSC, we talk about abstinence as an option, as a safer sex method. We also know that people need information beyond that. We also know that abstinence is not forever. At some stage, it is absolutely normal and natural to want to explore your sexual feelings. And so we need to come in with balanced information that enables young people to make good decisions for themselves. Okay, so I always like to say, it's like, why would you throw your child in the middle of the ocean without teaching them how to swim first? It's the same with CSE. We need to teach the skills and the information before we throw our youth out into the ocean of sexuality and they don't know what's going on. So that's really what it's about. Over.
Oh, brilliant stuff. Why would you throw your child out in the ocean without teaching them first how to swim. I love that. I absolutely love that. Again, let's take some comments. Derek says false, because through comprehensive sexuality education, I have been able to learn about other options like proper use of condoms. And Tanya says false, because it is about giving and empowering the youth to make their own decisions. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys so much for that contribution. Statement number 3, Maria. CSE is an African. To the viewers at home, the statement says comprehensive sexuality education is an African. Is the statement true or false? Brooklyn?
Thanks, Courtesy. That's another false one. A lot of people think that CSE has been imported from other countries into Africa. But I really would like our viewers out there, our listeners, to think about it in this way. Are rights to information and services un-African? Is the right to information and education African? Are the problems or challenges of growing up and learning about our sexual reproductive health and rights un-African? I mean, here we have child marriage, we have teen pregnancy, we have HIV and other STIs, we have other harmful practices like female genital mutilation. I mean, these are the kind of issues that we try to address and prevent in CSE, including gender-based violence and all that. So I think what people need to think about is we take that information, but we have to put it out there in a culturally sensitive and relevant way. So the topic, let's say, of rape could be there, but then you have to apply it to a local context and then, say, what are the taboos? What are the attitudes around it? Is that helpful? Is that healthy? And take it from there. So the content is not supposed to be un-African or imported. It's supposed to be contextualized to local situations. Rights, I think the Africans deserve their rights. Thank you. Over.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much, Maria. So much information and knowledge being passed on right here. I definitely wish you could reach out, make sure that your friend is tuned in, make sure that your neighbor is tuned in, because it's going down right here on this here conversation. We need to make sure we empower our young people. And Lackmore Benson says false. Too many young people receive confusing and conflicting information about relationships and sex as they make that transition from childhood to adulthood. This has led to an increasing demand from young people for reliable information, which prepares them for a safe, productive, and fulfilling life. When delivered well, comprehensive sexuality education responds to this demand, empowering young people to make informed decisions about relationships and sexuality and navigate a world where gender-based violence, gender inequality, early and unintended pregnancies, HIV, and other sexuality transmitted infections, STIs, still pose serious risks to their health and well-being. Hashtag young people first. Brooklyn, I think we could close the show right there with just that comment alone from Lackmore. It's so spot on. Thank you so much, brother. We appreciate your engaging with us right here. And then here's another statement, Maria, and to the viewers at home who are on fire right now. I mean, if this was a competition, I don't know who gets first prize. Maria, CSE teaches young people how to have sex, how to masturbate, and takes away their innocence. The statement to you watching at home is, CSE teaches young people how to have sex, how to masturbate, and takes away their innocence. Let's go. Maria.
What do we think? That is absolutely false. I mean, do you really think that there's some teachers in some classrooms teaching how to actually do it? Like Mastayos? No, not at all. EI, no. What happens is, if you look at the term sexuality, right, is only a part of sexuality. The sexual intercourse part is mentioned in terms of preventing unprotected sexual intercourse and in terms of health and balancing the pros and cons and things like that. But there's so much more about sexuality education than that. It's about puberty, healthy relationships, preventing GBV, as I mentioned before, and other harmful practices. It's about how the sexual and reproductive health system works, and so much more. And it's a lot about building skills, those life skills that are going to serve young people, not only in their sexual lives, but in all aspects of lives. Good communication, good negotiation skills, good decision-making skills. We need this for life, okay? The other thing is we have to understand that young people out there, they're getting so much information from so many sources. We're not trying to take away anybody's innocence in terms of CSE. We're trying to counteract what the young people are already getting out there in the streets. They're getting information from the internet, including pornography, that is not realistic, that is not factual, that gives a full sense of relationships are like. Plus, I mean, we're all, we got so much fake news, as we've said. So, you know, this is a good moment to try to talk about what we're going to do next in this E-Party, and that's watch a video about services. Because in sexuality education, let's say we're talking about contraception, we would talk about the methods, whatever, and then we would say where you can access them. So a lot of young people, they do not know to services. They do not know where to access them and what types of services there are. So we've got a video that breaks all that down. But before I go, because this is my goodbye moment, I just leave all of our listeners with a few words of wisdom, because I feel that you are all the advocates for CSE in wherever you are, to your parents, in your communities, as a student, whatever. The evidence is clear. CSE increases the age of first sex, increases the use of condoms and other condoms, increases correct knowledge, self-esteem, and the ability to communicate, even with parents. CSE decreases unprotected sex, the number of sex partners, and the frequency of sex, and the frequency of risk-taking. And it is the most important that CSE is coupled with or partnered with good youth-friendly services. So young people out there, you have the right to this information and services. You need to be the champions of CSE. And it was so lovely to be here with all of you. I look forward to having more conversations. I think it's time to hit play on that video on services. Thank you so much for having me on the program.
Maria, you are the one. You are the chosen one. You are such an amazing person, especially in the space of sexual and reproductive health. And thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and knowledge with us. Before I let you go, I want to take this question from Nundu Paddington. He says, how are you bridging the gap between Christian ethos and street teachings on and about sex for young people?
I want to thank that listener for that question. It's an excellent question. And it's something that not only we, the young people, grapple with, but even the teachers or the service providers, the health workers, they don't know how to make sense of their Christian values and then what they're expected to teach in CSE. Well, I'll go back to what I said earlier. If you look at all of the people, places, and things we learn about sexuality, there's so many, right? Church, religious organizations is one. Schools are another. Health, you know, books, internet, pornography, animals. I mean, we learn from so many sources and things. And what we try to do in CSE is let young people absorb that information and make sense of it in the sense of what are their values and attitudes. If my value as a young person says I should wait until a certain age to have sex so that my parents will be proud of me, or I don't have to worry about pregnancy, like that, then that's my value. And that's what I choose to do. And consent and issues like that. So I think that young people do have a hard time in balancing these things, but if we don't give them the opportunity to think about it in a structured way, in the way that we do in CSE, where we do values clarification exercises, even this true and false. Each true and false statement has enabled us to think about, oh, it reminds you of a friend who got pregnant because they didn't know what was going on, or they believed you can't get pregnant the first time you have sex. I mean, all of this has to play in the minds of young people and develop those skills so they can make those informed decisions. And hopefully they have partners who agree with them. They negotiate.
Oh, Maria, thank you so much. We love and appreciate you, and thank you for sharing that your knowledge. And Mr. Peddington, I hope that actually answered your question. Maria, we'll see you on the other side. But for now, Daniel Toro, please take us to the video. And as the video is playing once again to the viewers, please make note of some things that stand out to you. Just quote them on the comment section below. Make your own comment and summary of the video and throw it on the comment section below. But for now, Daniel Toro, take us to the video.
Thank you for inviting me to your health class. Today, we're discussing health services. Do you ever wonder about ways to stay healthy? Maybe you have questions about your period or wet dreams. Or are you worried that you or your friend might be pregnant? Well, you can get the answers to all these questions and more by visiting the clinic. Let me tell you about some of the sexual and reproductive health services provided, so you can access them if and when you need to. These include information and counseling for boys and girls on general health, sexual and reproductive health checkups, puberty concerns for boys and girls, including menstrual health management, contraception, including condoms and emergency contraception, pregnancy testing, antenatal, delivery, and postnatal care, self-abortion where legal, and post-abortion care, sexually transmitted infections testing and treatment, including partner notification, HIV testing services, referrals for treatment, care and support, including pre-exposure and post-exposure prophylaxis, medical male circumcision, screening for cervical cancer or pap smear, immunizations, including for human papillomavirus and hepatitis B, post-rep services. Lastly, depending on the country you're living in, sometimes access to certain services may vary depending on your age.
So anyway, I look him in the eye, and I know that he is scared.
John, stop lying. I was there. John was the one who was scared.
I swear I wasn't.
So guys, today in class, a lady from a nearby clinic taught us about health services we can get there. I think we should totally go check it out.
What do you mean we should go check it out? I, for one, certainly have no health problems. So I don't need to visit a clinic.
Oh, you have no problems. Really? Did you get that thing checked out?
Hey, shh! That information was shared under oath. Besides, some of us certainly cannot afford this.
No, guys. Guys, the services are so affordable and accessible to all of us. Actually, sometimes even free. But you never know until you know.
I'm not convinced. What services are we talking about here? Also, we cannot just go there. What if people see us? What will they think?
People will think, hey, is that John going to the clinic? Good for him. Besides, people go to the clinics every day. It's no more. And so many services are provided, especially those that deal with reproductive health for youth like us. Let's just go check it out. It won't hurt. Just visit and look around, maybe ask a few questions. Come on.
So, Nambi convinced us to go check out the clinic. I've got to say, I wasn't sure at first. But it turns out it wasn't bad after all. Met this counselor called Francis, really cool guy. He knew a lot of important stuff. I even got that thing checked out. Turns out I had nothing to worry about. Will I go there again? Totally. Because I have a lot of follow-up questions for Francis.
Awesomeness That was absolutely brilliant, beautiful, and informative. And it's done in such a very young person friendly way, and we appreciate that. It's another Amaze video. And if you want to see more Amaze videos, there's a link on the comment section below. Just follow that, and you will find more videos that could actually help you in your space to actually inform young people about sexual and reproductive health. Nundu says, thank you for your response and highlighting the need for giving the youth space. I work with Christian tertiary students and will do exactly that. Thank you very much. And then Luckmore Benson says, if lives are to be saved, faith-based organizations responding to sexual and reproductive health rights and HIV and AIDS need to provide clear and accurate information on CSE, including ways to avoid contracting and spreading HIV, teenage pregnancies, including the use of condoms, contraceptives, PrEP, Diperivin vaginal ring. I never seen that before. Diperivin vaginal ring, etc. And that is exactly what we are talking about. I love the conversation that's going on in the comment section. Nundu says, replying to Luckmore, very true, and we are open to receiving this information and relay it to the students we work with. This is amazing. This is exactly what we are here for, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the day, we understand that everyone, in terms of their behavior, they behave based on information that they have received. And that we use the word behave as an acronym for beliefs, expectations, habits, attitudes, values, and experiences. All of us behave based on our beliefs, our expectations, our habits, our attitudes, our values, and our experiences. But before we can do that, we need to have the right information before we can actually decide, behave, or become. So thank you guys very much for those comments. Take me back. I know there's still some comments from when we were still doing true or false, and I'd like to acknowledge those people for taking their time out. We were still talking about some of the myths around comprehensive sexuality education. Tanya says, CSE is not based on any culture, but more based on human life and reproduction. It is not a threat or replacement for any underlying good cultural customs. Brilliant. Cleopatra says, false. For one of the statements, equipping myself with the right information at the right time is my right, regardless of where I come from. Localize, and I emphasize localize. Thank you very much. Also, Derek says, I believe sexuality cannot be classified as African or Western because it is just human. Doesn't matter where in the world you come from. Derek once again says, sex happens among all people of all races, and it's good that as young people we are well informed with our body changes and understand the best way to navigate that process. Absolutely spot on once again. There is a lot of information that one can benefit from CSE. For instance, understanding menstrual hygiene and also how boys can be supportive to girls on the same. And I want to use that as a segue because Derek is in the same frequency. Salute to you, brother. Wherever in the African continent you are, I can feel you. That is a perfect segue for our poetry spoken word poetry for the day. So Daniel Toro, please take us to the spoken word poetry now that Derek has sort of like segued us into menstrual hygiene. Let's get it. We'll come back with more of your comments right here on the Safeguard Young People E-Party. A recent report by Femme International says, menstruation is a globally shared experience among all women. Women everywhere intimately understand what it is like to get their first period, and all women share similar symptoms. And yet, menstruation is a globally stigmatized issue and is a topic that people are constantly embarrassed to talk about, a topic that is only whispered about behind closed doors. Cultures all over the world have developed harmful, even destructive ideas and beliefs about menstruation. As a direct result of the persistent menstrual taboo, there's a critical lack of health education and resources available to young women about the menstrual cycle. While these taboos exist globally, they are especially prominent and relevant in developing countries. In Africa, one of the biggest reasons why adolescent girls miss school is menstrual monthlies. One girl says she wrapped a sock around her underwear just to stop the bleeding, terrified by the combination of what she was seeing and what she was feeling. Another time she taped tissue to her underwear. She didn't know what else to do. She couldn't ask for money because her mother is a single parent and has 5 mouths to feed. So she couldn't dare ask for money for this persistent monthly need. In this country, some girls will miss an average of 4 days of school each month, adding up to about 20% of the school year. Now, whether she is black, white, Jew, or Gentile, there is no way that she will have a fair academic assessment with that percentile. How on earth are girls meant to get ahead or even keep up at school if they have no other choice than to miss at least 5 days per month? Not cool. Her school life matters because without it, there are irreversible effects on her health, personal development, and economic status. When girls don't have access to sanitary pads, they will often choose to miss school or leave early or stay home altogether. A situation that we can easily resolve all together. You and me and you. You and me and you and FPA are dedicated to play our part, not just with words and pamphlets, but with good deeds and loud art. This is not just another conversation about early sex and teen pregnancy. It is an urgent call for us to protect basic human rights and dignity. So when it comes to feminine hygiene products, let's do away with price tags and taxes. This is not a luxury, but a necessity that she has to deal with on a monthly basis. It is a long road ahead for the emancipation of women from this menstruation stigma. But here we are, laying out the roadmap that will lead us to the unraveling of this enigma. Like any other 100-mile journey, this too needs to begin with a small step of our breaking free from the taboo and shame, and encourage others to do the same. Masculinity is supposed to protect the vulnerability of our community. So, I see men, not just as producers and carriers of semen, but as men who will stand side by side with women on this turbulent waters that we set sail. The power of the unity of humanity will once again prevail. The light has come, and no longer shall our sisters suffer in the dark, because the legacy of Noah is not that he saw the storm, but that he built the ark. The light has come, and no longer shall our sisters suffer in the dark, because the legacy of Noah is not that he saw the storm, but that he built the ark. Me and you and me. Me and you, UNFPA, have made the commitment to safeguard young people. And one of the best ways we can do that safeguarding is by providing them the right information at the right time. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for choosing to be with us this afternoon. Let's go to the comment section and find out what is moving you guys. Maria says, great video. I totally agree with you, Maria. And also remember, guys, for more of videos just like this one, you can go to amaze.org. And I know that the link has been posted on the comment section below. Cleopatra says, John and his friends are definitely on the way to a healthy future, and that is all that we want for young people. All right, take me down. Daniel Jean says, gender-based violence remains a challenge for the development, especially of girls. Should we banish ourselves from our customs? Often, when we are sexually raped, we are forbidden to denounce your rapist. Once you dare, society discriminates against you. I tell myself that we have to think about setting up the platforms for that. But my question is to know how a girl can express her discomfort despite the society and the reputations which are obstacles to her. Also, taking into account her menstrual period in which she is discriminated against by those close to her. Jean, I think you are also in that same frequency with us, because last week we were talking about gender-based violence. When you find time, please go back and watch last week's episode, because we did actually emphasize on issues like the ones you're talking to right now. And today we are touching on a broader subject, which is comprehensive sexuality education. So thank you so much for that comment. And then Derek says, let's talk about sexual matters and stop making such issues a taboo. Like, haibo. I mean, really, we need to be informed for us to be informed. You see what I did there? Like, nice one, Derek, thank you. And then Jude says, there's a lot of misconception about comprehensive sexuality education. A lot of people deny it, but continue to limit the information that young people have, and this leads to more devastating effects. We need to reach out to young people to make sure that they have access to information and education to make informed choices. Point blank, period. Jude, you are spot on right there. This is exactly why we are here. This is exactly how we are here. Oh, how amazing is courtesy though. I mean, thank you so much. I don't want to blush because, you know, that might make me look... There you have it now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, Mamuda Bakazi, Manene na Manene Gazi from the motherland. This brings us to the end of our series on sexual health and reproduction education. Thank you to the UNFPA Safeguard Young People Regional Support Team, Renata, Lindiwe, Maria, Lindsay, Cleo, Derek, Natalie, for putting all of this together, and of course, the master, Daniel Toro, for the live stream. Our guests via Zoom throughout the series, Karabo, Vimbiso, and Maria. Thanks to you, the viewers, for tuning in and sharing your thoughts with us. We have enjoyed connecting with you, and we would love to keep that fire burning. Please like our Safeguard Young People Facebook page and subscribe to our Safeguard Young People YouTube page as well. From me, the courtesy of hip hop, it's been an absolute pleasure. Feel free to holler at your boy on the socials as well. Now me. But for now, it's peace, love, and happiness. Stay safe. And remember, young people of all ages have the right to information and services about their health and well-being, and should safeguard their rights and take responsibility for their sexual reproductive health rights. You need to be the champion of comprehensive sexuality education. To close off this party on the highest note possible, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody stream and please welcome this here song from the Safeguard Young People partnership artists, Stofa Gwamba from Malawi and Zeus from Botswana, giving us a track called Conjiva. Now the condom has been given so many names on the street. It's called a Jimmy, it's called, rubber, but also in some parts it's called a Conjiva. And this song emphasizes on exactly that. Peace, love, and happiness. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you very much. Siyabonga.
Put on a rubber, son. Put on a condom. Kenya rubber, son. Kenya hot. Put on a rubber, son. Put on a conjiva. Kenya rubber, son. Kenya hot. Put on a rubber, son. Without tirelata. There's no way you're gonna regret not getting HIV. There's no way you're gonna regret not getting STIs. Yeladi Kanda, Tabasari Little Naite. Yeladi Kanda, we cheap summer for free. Yeladi Kanda, Tabasari Little Naite. Yeladi Kama, we cheap summer for free. The brothers and sisters, please, let's condomize every time. People, let's compromise. Wakasupunyo khoshopo kane mufanya kaitabula. Wakasupunyo khoshopo using the tips of your mates. Siso, akele tokele one neck.
I got you. Check coast, mother, don't forget to stay strapped and avoid the issues. Lower your wrist, dude, where my ladies. Carry them rubbers don't mean you shady. It's wild out there, I got you, baby. She plays safe, she don't want no baby or diseases, baby. Okay, ladies, I see you say you independent. Own crib, own car, show you do your own thing. But when it comes to safer sex, it's all on him. Get some control, my what if he do the wrong thing? Get your own jimmies, let's call them jimmies. Especially for the ladies, advantages are plenty. Additional protection, covers more ground. And tougher, conducts more heat when it goes down. Sharp of it, like nanya that ding, I get you. Check coast, mother, don't forget to stay strapped and avoid the issues. Lower your wrist, dude, where my ladies. Carry them rubbers don't mean you shady. It's wild out there, I got you, baby. She plays safe, she don't want no baby or diseases, maybe. Hey.
Oh, they're coming in flavors. Oh, I pull out the fire together. So if you really wanna have some fun, no say either, please go grab one. Oh, they're coming in flavors. Oh, I pull out the fire together. So if you really wanna have some fun, no say either, please go grab one.
Sharp of it, like nanya that ding, I get you. Check coast, mother, don't forget to stay strapped and avoid the issues. Lower your wrist, dude, where my ladies. Carry them rubbers don't mean you shady. It's wild out there, I got you, baby. She plays safe, she don't want no baby or diseases, maybe. Hey.
Oh, they're coming in flavors. Oh, I pull out the fire together. So if you really wanna have some fun, oh, say either, please go grab one. Oh, they're coming in flavors. Oh, I pull out the fire together. So if you really wanna have some fun, oh, say either, please go grab one.
Geleto, gelewone, geleto. Geleto, gelewone, geleto. Geleto, gelewone, geleto. Geleto, gelewone, geleto.
Oh, they're coming in flavors. Oh, I pull out the fire together. So if you really wanna have some fun, oh, say either, please go grab one. Gang, Guinness girl, sponsor grand. Killing your rubber, do my thing. Only problem, too many girls. One of them will be the end of his world. Gave it up in exchange for the pearls. Strapped up, could've crashed on the curb. You're the king of the castle, but it's a bit of a struggle, especially if the castle's in the form of a bottle. Broken bottles, cuts are deep.